29th of June 2022, between 3 and 4 p.m. What's happening down there? Is that a wheelchair user in distress? I mean, I guess if you've got suspicions, you should really phone the police. But I mean, video enables you to look back. They might not be in distress. I mean, you can zoom in and look back later. But you can't do anything with the video. You can't upload them to the police if you see someone really is in danger. I mean, the WebM format enables low file size, good visual quality. Really, it's the best for the moment. 29th of June 2022. This is actually, it's Charleston Road North. Crossing the road, noisy car coming. Gotta move quick. Well, not that quick. But this is a busy road. Now this is the road through Cove. Sometimes you've got to be on the ground to see what roads look like, because actually just using Google Maps is not real life visual quality. Actually, this is a busy road. Is this the area known as Charleston? It's also around Cove. I mean, I guess if you get lost, you can use mobile data and mapping. Actually, online maps on the move, but you can't shoot video and reference maps at the same time. That's the benefit of looking at street signs, to understand your location. And actually, I want to go this way, through here. This is Inner Cove, around Charleston. What's the difference? Cove or Charleston? Sometimes getting away from main roads provides a better look and feel of a place. You can also get disorientated. You also need street signs on the ground, sometimes to provide a name. I mean, there's GPS, along with mobile data and GPS, American GPS, global positioning satellite, that can pinpoint your location on online maps on the move via mobile data. When there's mobile phone masts which are working, you can get a signal. Signals and baseband technology. Baseband often linked to broadband. Baseband is the stuff of telecommunications, telephony networks, traditional copper cabling linked to homes. I mean, really, there's still a need for fibre to the home, fibre cable going directly into homes. It's mostly fibre to the cabinet. Broadband exchange at Kings Wells for the town of West Hill, for example. Broadband exchanges, most residents in towns and cities share exchanges. This is Wellington Gardens. Always useful to film signs, because actually, when you look back at video, signs you filmed help to pinpoint where you were. That's actually different in a sense. That's video captured in the past. That's different to real live tracking, GPS, mobile data, online maps. There's a difference. Wellington Wind.
Guys, stop!
This is Wellington Wind. It takes all sorts to make a world. Aberdeen, 60 languages spoken. And there was a coloured person running across the road after children, looking after children, running to keep up. I mean, children like to run. Adults need to use bikes to keep them safe. Really. You need to be able to keep up with the children for as long as possible. And if a woman has a baby in their mid-30s, they need to be keeping up with them in their mid-40s. This is the benefit of cycling, bikes. Keeping up with the children. Keeping up with appearances also. This is Wellington Green. Lots of trees here. You can see Wellington Green. Wellington Green. Ah, Wellington Green. This is Cove Bay. Cove, Union Square City Centre, ARI, Maastricht. So from Cove you can get to the hospital. The hospital. This is First Aberdeen. The service 3A goes from Cove, Union Square, City Centre, ARI, Maastricht. You can go from Cove to Maastricht. Actually. So you can go from Cove to Maastricht. So do workers at Tesco Wood End live in Cove? I mean, sometimes people commute across the city. I mean, actually, local jobs, keeping jobs local. I mean, there's some sense in that in terms of protecting the environment, but jobs typically aren't local. And that's the issue around My Job Scotland, actually. Jobs involve travel. And throughout Aberdeenshire, which is rural, you can travel a long way. So from the bus sign, I've established I am in Cove. This is Cove. Real life. Aberdeen. Cove. I don't generally access mobile data on the move and maps. I prefer going around, getting to know streets on the ground, building up local knowledge, and then sharing it. That's visual orientation, orienteering, in a sense. Real world visual orientation. Video, filming street signs enables looking back at video captured, and you can actually learn. There's greater educational dimension. Who's established that concept? Educational dimension? Better educational dimension, and also file definition in visual data when you go around towns and cities. I've never heard the word educational dimension before. I just made it up. I mean, I guess you've got to be creative and innovative, and universities award the top marks for innovation. We need young people to be clever, to invent lots of great technologies to help those that are middle-aged now, in older age, also the young people now, because they'll grow up and have children of their own. This is the benefit of shared wisdom. And there's a construction site here in Cove. Cove? Oh, it's Stuart Milne. Oh, he gets everywhere. He was going to build the Aberdeen football stadium at Kingsford. He's done new houses at Countess Wells. That's by Kingswells. He's got fancy paving there. Stuart Milne, he's a recognised name. I emailed him, told him to use 3D printing. I mean, I don't think he's doing it, really. I did email him. Tried to encourage him to adopt 3D printing to build homes. He doesn't listen. Too self-absorbed. Don't honk your horn at me. I'm shooting video. Why are you honking your horn at me? I was on the left-hand side of the road, keeping in at Stuart Milne. Well, that's Stuart himself. But it must be. Is that Stuart? The car stopped. It's going to the Stuart Mill building site. That surely can't be Stuart. Really, people have it in for me. He's waiting. Going to the building site. This is Cove. This is the constituency of Alex Nicholl. Alex Nicholl, no, not MSP, he's a councillor, an Aberdeen City councillor. I mean, some people really don't know councillors from MSPs, members of the Scottish Parliament, and then there's MPs, members of Parliament, and different areas of Aberdeen have a different representative, because Aberdeen is a city with almost 250,000 people, or just over 200,000. Around the time of the 29th of June 2022. Actually, that looks like a school. There's a construction site beside it. This is safety. And Stuart Mill. Was that him in the car that hogged the horn? But I did tell Stuart Mill to use 3D printing. I mean, we need that in case there's a really serious natural disaster. Are you expecting an earthquake? They happen in the North Sea, around oil rigs. That's what drilling for oil does. Aberdeen, the oil capital of Europe, earthquakes around oil rigs that happened in 2018, documented by the media. Or it might have been 2019. It certainly happened in recent times. But what's significant is it's happening. Earthquakes around oil rigs in the North Sea. This is what drilling for oil does. We need more sustainable practices. Electric vehicles, EV vehicles, coupled with... you can hear the children actually. This is a school. It used to be said children should be seen and not heard. But actually I can hear them. And not filming children. I want to change it actually, so that children are heard and not seen. Police say not to film around schools, but around here there's a construction site. I'll film the plant, get closer, peep over the plant, and see if I can film the building without the children. And you can't really make out any children from here. You can see the play park. We'll film this way. Give us some definition. Avoid the children. Teachers get paranoid filming around school, so you've got to be careful. But it doesn't mean... Is it a school? No, it's a play park. It's a skate park. Oh, this is the Cove skate park. Well, that's okay to film, because that shows the children, the teenagers, are actually entertaining themselves. Going down the ramp. That's actually a fun thing to film. And the bird flying. This is actually... There's a path through here. Oh, it is a school. It's got the sign. You don't always know if you visit a new area where schools are. So you can come upon them, stumble upon them. And I have done that in the past without realising it. I mean, actually, yes, this is a school. It's Charleston School, actually. Yes, it's got the sign. Charleston School. Nursery, primary, so it's a nursery as well. Nurseries have ratios. Adult to child supervision. Schools don't actually have ratios, but the Scottish Government have always really long had a vision for class sizes of around 20 maximum. I mean, it's a long-term vision, strategic vision. The reason really for having a strategic vision of around 20 pupils in a class is because pupils learn better with more one-to-one support, in essence. This helps special needs children better, really. That's what's the driving force behind it, but it's not practical. That's why it's never really happened. I mean, to actually get 20 children in a class, you've got to redesign schools, get building works. This school actually looks more modern than some others. Charleston School, it's not made of granite. It's made of a modern structure, so likely benefits Wi-Fi signals better. This justifies the purchase of Chromebooks for pupils, but I mean some schools are built of granite, especially in the city centre of Aberdeen, like Broomhill School, Hanover, Albine. No, Albine's quite modern, with glass on the front facing. Albine School was actually, Mum did filing for that as part of Arming Partners, surveyor's firm. That's one of her schools on Queen's Road. It's got a nice front entrance with a glass panel. Normally flowers bloom outside Albine School on Queen's Road. This is Charleston School. You can hear the kids, actually. Just the noise. So Charleston School has a skate park to entertain the teenagers. The Charleston School is a primary, actually. It's a primary school and nursery. It's not a secondary, but it has a skate park for older children, teenagers. So teenagers are hanging around Charleston School, the primary and nursery. And then you've got to go into issues that, like, well, I don't want to frighten people. But where is Madeleine McCann? Older teenagers can abduct smaller children. We won't go into any examples. But Madeleine McCann is a good example. The young child disappeared. Where is she? Disappeared in Portugal. Portuguese language barrier. Need for pupils and students to study foreign languages. Really. To better integrate foreigners. 60 languages spoken in Aberdeen, all across the city. Actually, there's a wee outdoor area at Charleston School. I won't film it because there's kids in it, but it looks like a boat with plants. Let's not film it. Let's consider respect. Film the sign. Humps for... There's humps on this road. Yes, Charleston School has an outdoor area with a fence, a blue fence, to actually keep children safe, in a sense. That's what's around the perimeter of the outdoor area. I mean, outdoor areas really came into being around 20 years ago for playgroups, for example. It's a positive thing to have an outdoor area. It gets young children outside, appreciating the natural world. This is 29th of June 2022. Actually, no children there. There's the outdoor area. You can see a bit without children. Yes, this is the railway line by Lauriston Road. There's actually Lauriston Road. Actually, I passed there's a school on Lauriston Road. I passed it. It was on the other side of the road. Didn't notice it. It's up there, but actually you got to go back that way anyway. But there's Lauriston School. It's on Lauriston Road. But actually this way leads down to Cove Harbour. It's a path. This is the 29th of June 2022. Nice colourful plants here. And those are lupins. the pink ones, the tall ones. Look at the birds flying off, starlings. Identifying your birds. You need to know all about nature and the environment. Be able to identify birds. There isn't a decent path going down to the harbour. What's the harbour like? This is the path to the harbour. So you've got to get off your bike. I was hoping for a quick journey down to Cove Harbour. But I mean, you've got to get off your bike. I'm not sure if this does go to the harbour. And it's uphill. This is real life on the ground around Cove Harbour. I mean, look at the houses. This is also by the railway line. The railway line is actually hidden behind these bushes, so you can't get at it. I mean, that's actually a sense of safety in a way. Prevents people going onto the railway line. Sometimes trees fall onto railway lines. I mean, there's no trees here actually by this part of the railway line, but there was the Stonehaven rail train derailment caused by thunder and lightning. It was in August 2020. Donald Dinny from West Hill was killed. He was the train driver, driving a train at Stonehaven. Always important to remember people that have lost their lives in significant local communities. But here, all these bushes, this is Cove, alongside the railway line, leading down to the harbour. I mean, actually, you could cycle along this path when you're not shooting video. You can shoot, you can't really shoot video from a handheld device. You need the more novel video capture devices, the wearable ones. Glasses, smart specs, augmented reality, based on animation, a good example. Animation comes from storyboarding, storytelling, children's cartoons with subtle educational messages. Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig World, that's at Paulton's Park, south of England. This is information in the real world. Children like playing, being taken to theme parks, and there are actually people have issues with children being filmed in play parks, but parents like to film their own kids. That's the big issue, actually. Film them growing up. There is actually a big controversial issue here. Parents like to film and photograph their kids to show them when they're older. But parents and teachers also don't like strangers filming pupils or around schools. I mean, there are ethics actually. You shouldn't really film around schools or film kids in the playground. Really, you need to respect people. But at the same time, school buildings can change. That's part of the natural world. And actually visiting schools, you can learn information when people are of a well-meaning character. There's a difference between having well-meaning intentions and actually having malicious intentions. And past events, past behaviour can sound alarm bells about someone, but also it can show they're really not a threat. So history matters, broadly. And this goes against privacy in a very real sense. Because people like privacy. But if you're not open with others and the public in general, people can't understand your life, help you when you get into peril, difficulty. People might be more willing to help if they know you've generally and of a better character, considering ethics and morals. This really underlines greater teaching of ethics and morals at assemblies by head teachers. Where's the Cove Harbour? Really? I've come to a field. That bridge where I started filming, that was to along Coast Road. That wasn't Cove Harbour. Where's Cove Harbour? Some places on the ground actually are different in reality. And also, you need to build bridges. You need civil engineers to maintain bridges also, to get across railway lines. I mean, I thought the harbour, it looked as if from Google Maps, it's on the other side of the railway line. No harbour here. I think I've come the wrong way. But anyway, I'm documenting my efforts in video. Really. This is Cove Bay, the sea coming at the rocks. With that, there's coastal erosion to consider. And 2014, Prime Minister David Cameron conducted a study really looking into coastal erosion. That's the Conservatives for you. The British Conservative Party, not the Scottish Conservative Party. There's a difference. I mean, the British Conservative Party really concern national issues. And this is an island, a shared island, the British Isles, Scotland, England and Wales. Northern Ireland is actually part of Ireland, but it's still part of the United Kingdom. And there are issues around whether Northern Ireland should be part of the British Isles or the island of Ireland. That's what's fueled all the troubles in the past around Londonderry and Belfast. Really, this is history. It's also the present day. At Cove, there's issues around coastal erosion for island nations, and in the last 50 years, from before 2016, 10 new volcanic islands formed. So new islands are forming, where they're volcanic. And Herculaneum and Pompeii were destroyed at the foot of the active volcano Mount Vesuvius, which is still active in the present day, overshadowing the Bay of Naples in Italy, across the bay from Sorrento. Also along from the Amalfi Coast, with the Isle of Capri just off it. This is geography. You need to understand where places are local. People have in the past explored and travelled, but now we've got people still do that. There's loads of ships every day that go across the ocean, but really, when you don't travel far, you can rely on online maps to understand geography. This can really teach young people geography, and they probably learn that way too, but you need people to go out in the natural world and film to show you what it's like and share video. I mean, that's what the BBC have historically done for decades. You need to consider the cumulative effect of what you've learned, the knowledge you've learned in your life, and also combine it with modern day developments, looking back, reflecting. And there's a whole load of history in records, digital records online, paper archives. Archiving is actually, there's also great work goes into converting paper records, understanding historical artifacts, interpreting and converting them to digital form. That happens every day. I mean, the British Museum produced archives. Museums do it. Here we have rocks, a cliff face. This is alongside the railway line. And that's a solid structure. I guess it's not really, there's no trees along here, this part of the railway line. So I guess this coming winter, the storm, the storms that come, 2022 to 2023, looking into the future, there's going to be storms. It's going to be stormy. I'm telling you that now. I can predict it because climate scientists have been warning for years. So, based on last year, several storms over the winter, there's going to be several this winter. There will be, they're coming. I'm telling you now. This is a prediction, predicting the future, based on last winter. It'll be coming. Definitely coming. Well, if I record it now, and record my prediction in video, actually, people can look back and say, oh, he was right. He told us. I mean, Michael Fish did that. The Great Storm of 1987, he predicted a great storm, and it never came. No, he said it was going to be stormy. He did say that. Now, what did he get wrong again? No, he said, don't panic. There's no storm coming. He got it wrong big time, and a storm came. Southwest of England. Michael Fish, BBC weather broadcaster. So he got it wrong. Let's just be clear. He said there was no storm coming. Viewers phoned in. No, people warned him in advance, callers, they phoned him to say there's a storm coming. But he ignored the warning of potential viewers. He ignored it. And this storm, the Great Storm of 1987 came. That was when I was injured. Nearly lost an eye. Climbing the Garden Gate. The Great Storm of 1987. Garden Gate propped up against the fence. I mean, Michael Fish, he's got a lot to answer for. He got it wrong. So I'm telling you now, a train just went past. You saw it on the railway line. There's going to be storms this winter. I'm telling you now. You need to keep the children safe. The 4-year-olds. Supervise them. I'm warning you. You need to heed my warnings. I've learnt the hard way. Scar by the eyebrow. Although I think it might have faded actually. No lasting damage to eyesight. Eyes were missed. Young neighbours. Girls. Alerted mum. Stitches at hospital. Screamed the place down. Dad could hear me from the other end. I mean that. Wrapped in sheets. Age 4. I mean really. Mental health nurses crowding round you in 2021. I mean really. They did it at 4. And they're still doing it. No bedside manner. Really, this is significant. I'm warning you, the storm's coming. Coastal erosion. It's very real. I haven't found the harbour and I don't think it's here. I seem to have missed it. This is alongside the railway line. Outside of Cove. Cove is a bay. With water, the North Sea battering the cliff. Waves. Wave power. Stephen Salter, the father of wave power. He received an honorary degree 13th of July 2005. Aberdeen Music Hall. Stephen Salter invented the Salter duck. This is all history connected to the natural world developments. What's ingrained in memories, really, it's valuable information. Valuable information that can actually predict the future and warn others. Warn about impending danger. Really, 14 minutes, 15 minutes of me shooting video is a significant video. It might tell others storms are coming, but I might have got it wrong. Michael Fish got it wrong. No storm coming, he said. Even when callers phoned in, and the north-southwest storms came. So I'm telling you now, there's going to be several storms this winter, 2022 to 2023, based on last year's storm. Started with Storm Arwen, 26th of November 2021. Several storms for the winter. Storm Arwen, strong winds. Worst storm in a generation. A generation is 25 years. So you're supposed to have, a parent is supposed to be 25 years old when they have children. So really, young people need to get back into having babies. We need the baby boom years. A generation game. That was Bruce Forsyth. A generation. A generation is 25 years, so you need to have children at 25 or around that age. That's the optimum age for healthy, intelligent babies to maintain Scottish smart cities and learn all about technology in the world to really help others. Mum was 35 when she had me. What was the result? Special needs baby? Friday the 1st of July 2022. You know, as the cars pass by on the cycle path, there's almost like fumes, like smoke. It keeps appearing. Is it smoke? Is this the emissions? Yes, every time the cars pass, I see what looks like smoke on the cycle path. It's like vapour coming from car emissions. I guess electric vehicles don't have emissions, but hydrogen vehicles still produce a kind of vapour. I mean, it's been raining. It was raining. I mean, the presence of wet on the road surface is actually producing a kind of vapour from the cars passing. But it seems to be to do with the emissions. Nothing in the field. No horses. You know, in the news today, China and Hong Kong was mentioned. And actually, it's been 25 years since Britain handed over Hong Kong to China. The last British governor was Chris Paton. When he was the governor, the Foreign Secretary was Michael Petillo. 25 years ago. 1997 was the handover. Britain to China for Hong Kong. When the handover took place, let's just be clear, China promised to maintain freedom of expression and independence for Hong Kong. And this is guaranteed until 2047. Dates matter. Britain, or the United Kingdom, took ownership of Hong Kong in 1842. 1842. It's noisy here. 1842, the 19th century, going back to the early tobacco trade. 1842, there was opium wars, so that's heroin. You know, there's opium fields in Afghanistan too. Opium. Britain took independence of Hong Kong over opium, heroin. It's the drugs trade. I mean, drugs is also mental health. That's what led to Britain. There was wars with China in a sense. Britain took Hong Kong. Hong Kong enjoys greater freedom of expression and independence than China. But still, China manufactures lots of goods for the rest of the world. Important to consider. And there are actually lots of solar farms, giant solar farms in China. The solar power to reflect sunlight and heat, produce energy, trap the sun's heat. This is all worth discussing. Discussing around the Aberdeen Bypass roundabout. Free flowing today. It's the 1st of July, 2022. Approaching American Independence Day, 4th of July. I mean, American Independence Day. It was Scotland that contributed the cannon to deliver American independence. And this is the Aberdeen Bypass roundabout. So really, Aberdeen and Scotland is key.